Greetings, YouTube. As I mentioned on Friday, it was my birthday, so I'm kind of celebrating my birthday all weekend long. I don't get to do it but once a year, so I might as well enjoy it. So Saturday, my wife and I took a trip to Worcester, Massachusetts to visit 2 game stores and a toy store. And we actually didn't get horribly lost, which is amazing because the streets of Worcester were laid out by someone throwing spaghetti on a table, and that's how they laid out their streets. It's an absolute mess. They are intersections that look like this, and one-way streets everywhere you go. It's a nightmare. I have some friends that lived there during college, and I do not know how they escaped with their sanity. But the first store we went to was closed, which was a bummer. I mean, I'd made the trip all the way from New Hampshire, and I'd made sure that the place was supposed to be open, and they even had a sign on their door saying that they were doing a sale on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but they weren't open. It was 10:48 a.m., and they were supposed to open at 10, and they didn't. We called the number out of the store, we listened to their phone ring inside, we shrugged, and we walked away. And this wasn't necessarily a bad thing, though, because it meant that I hadn't spent any money there, because when I got to the second store, I hit a used gaming book bonanza. And this is what I found. First is Uresia. This is for the Big Eyes Small Mouth game, and I had actually been looking at this online as a used copy on Amazon, and the price was a little too high for what I wanted. I wanted to look at it, but it really wasn't to me worth it. I got it for $4. We have the Terran Empire for the Hero System. Now, some of you are probably familiar with the Hero System. It is a monster book. I mean, it is literally this thick. It looks like a chemistry textbook from college. It's that large. I've never liked the Hero System, but their supplements are often excellent. And for $10 for a complete source book, a campaign setting, cool. I've never been disappointed with one of their supplements that I've purchased in the past, so I figured I can't lose for $10. The Flower of Battle, and this is for the Riddle of Steel, which is a system I actually don't own yet. I want to. I've wanted to own it for a while, but this supplement is a book of weapons, duels, and battles for the Riddle of Steel. And I will buy equipment books for any game there is. It always gives me inspiration for my weapon sketches, and I just love the stuff. And for $3 for a book that thick, pretty good deal. Next we have the complete Monstrous Wizard's Compendium, which lets you not only rules for playing monstrous humanoids as spellcasters, but how to create your own spellcasting races, which I thought was kind of cool. $15, a little pricier than some of the other ones, but it looked like it might be useful. It's D20 compliant, and on D20 is my system of preference. The Banewarrens from Sword and Sorcery, and you're going to see quite a bit of your Sword and Sorcery in this pile because I've always been impressed with their books. This was $6. This is a mega adventure by Monty Cook, and Monty Cook could do anything, and I buy it. The guy is a genius. I've been buying his stuff for decades, and I love his work. So that was a great find. Next we have the Galactic Underground. This is for the Battlelords of the 23rd Century game, which is fairly obscure. They actually had another supplement for it that I didn't want. And it's a very wacky game. It is not completely serious. It's it's really heavy combat. If you have ever listened to the Fear the Boot podcast online, this is a game that Phil would love. Lots of guns, lots of blowing stuff up, and for $3 I couldn't pass on the chance to own one of their supplements. Next we have Fields of Blood, the Book of War. This is from Eden Studios, and it's also D20 compliant, and it's a book about actually creating large-scale military campaigns in the D&D setting. And $8. What the heck, If all else fails, I can always use it in conjunction with the official D&D supplement that does that. Next we have the Lords of Night Liches, which is also D20 compliant. It was $12, but it's got some nice art. It's got the whole thing's dedicated to different types of liches of undead wizards. So they're always useful for bad guys. Next we have the Lords of the Night Zombies. Again, useful stuff, and this one actually looks like it was. No, not this one. Sorry, not the British book. There's one here that looks like it was designed to be printed to be sold in Britain, and this one was also $8. Now this one I bought on a lark. It's the World of Aden, a standalone, big, cheesy fantasy game from West End Games, and it says based on the hit computer role-playing series by SSI. Is SSI even still in business? And this one was $5, and for a cheesy cover like that, how can I pass it up? Next we have Hollowfaust, City of the Necromancers. And again, sword and sorcery, D20 compliant, designed for the Scarred Land setting. I actually own the Scarred Land setting. And, a city full of undead, there you go, especially for $5. Now we have some hardcovers. We have Gary Gygax, Necropolis. Now I never actually bought this when it came out. Gary Gygax is kind of a mixed bag in my book. But for $10, a hardcover complete book, and it's in excellent condition, I give it a try in honor of the memory of Gary Gygax, if nothing else. Next we have Strange Lands, Lost Tribes of the Scarred Lands, and again the Scarred Lands setting. And it's kind of got that the big sweeping Age of Conan kind of thing going for it. So I'm like, for $10, I'd give it a try. And then we have Wars, the role-playing game, and this is an OGL, Open Gaming License game. And I'm always interested in those. It's from Mongoose Publishing, and I've always been impressed with their work. And this was only $8 for a really kind of beefy hardcover book. So, you can't lose there. So, total, if you look at the cover prices on these things, $351.56. What did I pay? $100.16. We also picked up a gift for a friend of ours, and my wife bought the latest issue of the Lenore comic, which is a gothic comic about a little dead girl. Very interesting, very humorous, highly recommended. So, it was a great gaming book day. I had a great time, and I may go back to this place in a year or so to visit again, even though it's far, far away.